Hello and welcome to our first video session celebrating our accomplishments in what we have dubbed as Flashback Fall 2019. My name is Dr. Kunsal Manicharya. I am the Director of the Center for Supply Management Research at Indiana State University Scott College of Business. Today I have here with me a very dear friend and mentor, Dr. Paul Schikora, who is a Professor of Operations and Supply Chain Management at the Scott College. Dr. Schikora teaches in the area of Operations, Advanced Manufacturing, and Intervention Resource Planning. This fall, Dr. Schikora is offering a specialized course in Advanced Manufacturing for the first time, and we will have some discussion about his thoughts on this. I'm also joined with one of our very enterprising students, Haylee Sigmon, and Haylee has been a student in Dr. Schikora's class. Dr. Schikora, Haylee, welcome to this class. So I'll start with Dr. Schikora.
Yes.
You know that this course, this specific course that you are offering is the first time offering, right?
It is.
It's kind of a prototype, right? That in the future, eventually, we will make this, or at least plan to make this, a full-time offering in the curriculum. So, can you educate us a little bit about the evolution of this course and how you envision this in terms of its syncing with the rest of the curriculum?
Certainly. The course came about as a result of probably a year, maybe a little more than a year and a half of curriculum discussions within the program. So we try to practice what we preach in the Scott College of Business, especially in the Operations and Supply Chain program. So every 4 to 5 years, we revisit our curriculum and do what we call a curriculum revision project, where we compare what we're teaching and how the major is set up course-wise with what's going on in industry, and try to look for indications where we need to change, where we need to add things, or maybe also we might stop teaching certain things. And as part of this discussion, I started really discussing that I thought we had a little bit of a lack of advanced courses in the operations part of operations and supply chain management. And so from that, we came to the discussion where I was able to teach what we call a seminar course in the program. And so seminar courses allow faculty to teach new topics, to pilot new courses. It could be any sort of a topical area. And we set this one up as Advanced Operations Management. And as I came towards this semester over the summer and preparing it, what I was going to teach, I decided to make the focus of it a manufacturing planning and control course. I think the primary reason for that was that the majority of our students, when they graduate, end up with manufacturers, typically in this area, in the region, at least. And so I thought that a manufacturing planning and control course, which could take us much further than what our fundamentals of operations course does, would be a good way to at least first pilot this particular course. And so that's how it's been set up. Our hope, or my hope, is that we will be able to include a higher level operations course in the program. It may be manufacturing planning and control. It may be something else. So the seminar course is the way for us to kind of develop different ways of teaching it and get feedback from the students on whether or not this is relevant and interesting, and try to decide eventually, if we do add an advanced course, what exactly is it going to look like.
Fantastic. Just to piggyback on that, and since we have both talked about this multiple times, something that we preach to our students is the fact that when they graduate from our program, their learning begins there. Because this is a field where continuous improvement is the name of the game, right? So be it through ASTM, be it through ISM, students continue to pursue certifications and further their career, right? We know that you have been through a CPIM certification very recently. To what extent have you been able to incorporate some of that into this course?
Oh, okay. Well, part of my last sabbatical project, spring of 18, if I'm not mistaken, and this was all kind of tied into our curricular discussions and the idea to teach this class. Part of what I did on sabbatical then was to study and test for what was APICS and is now ASCM, the Association for Supply Chain Management, their top certification program, CPIM, Certified in Production and Inventory Management. The idea here was for me first to see what kind of topics, what sort of information is important for anybody who's going to pursue that certification in industry, and then try to incorporate it within our course. Everything we do in OSCM is to prepare our students to take on that entry-level job once they graduate. But you're right, most of their learning starts once they do graduate. And so the idea here was, if we can give them exposure to the topics and the subject matter in a professional certification course, that will be the first step towards preparing them to pursue that, should they choose to do that, once they graduate.
Fantastic. The last piece of the puzzle, and this is something very core to our hearts, we have been talking about this for a year now. Very recently, we were able to sow the seeds of an Industry 4.0 club. Our partners are well aware of this establishment. We really strive to be an Industry 4.0 incubator in this region, and it naturally mixes with advanced manufacturing. So what are your thoughts of injecting some of those applications in this course in the near future?
So I'll tell you right now, none of our textbooks really have a whole lot. I mean, it's developing, but obviously a lot of industry is going that way, and so I think the initial inclusion of topics like that in the course would come through probably looking at case studies, and maybe not academic case studies, but looking at industry case studies, major articles, perhaps Wall Street Journal, or other business publications, and bringing those into the class for discussion. Basically looking at that particular case study and what topic area would it fit within our course, and bringing it in as part of that particular topic and discussions within the course. Eventually, as these, what are brand new ideas and concepts and things that are just kind of beginning to build now, become more common sorts of practices in industry, then I think we can bring examples of that actually into the course itself as topic matter, and I think you'll see textbooks probably bring more of that into the course.
Fantastic. Well, we'll shift to our attention to Haylee here now. Haylee, you have been part of the first beneficiary class of this course. So how has your experience been so far?
So far, I've enjoyed it a lot so far. It's been a really kind of unique experience being in this first class. I think I was one of the first students kind of pushing to get this class taught this semester. So it's been kind of a fun ride to see the transition of the class throughout the semester, and kind of what we saw at the beginning and kind of where we ended up now. And some topics we took a little bit longer on to focus on. However, I have a lot more deeper knowledge on those different topics. Definitely more well-rounded throughout the whole kind of manufacturing, planning, and control system. Yeah.
Very good. For our audience, Haylee is graduating at the end of this semester, and she's starting full-time at North American Lighting. Congratulations, Haylee.
Thank you.
So, how do you feel that this course specifically has prepared you or created that niche for you as you cross over from the student life to corporate?
So it's kind of been a really unique semester for me. I've been interning at the same company, doing the same thing that I'm going to be starting in full-time. And so taking the topics that we're learning in class, such as like MRP, material requirements planning, I do that on a daily basis at work. And so kind of integrating what I'm learning in class, but also at the workplace, and it kind of helps me in both areas. So I take some of the knowledge that we've learned throughout the textbook and everything, and use that in my work life, and then also I've been able to transition some of that and then help the other students in our class actually learn some of the material and a better understanding of that, since I have a deeper understanding of that topic. So it's been really unique.
That's fantastic. Well, Haylee, Dr. Schikora, thank you so much for your time. For those of you who have been watching this video, let me assure you that this is not a one-off initiative. In fact, every single of our initiatives are designed to make our curriculum more current, more relevant. There is a reason why our program is so successful over the last few years. There is a reason why our graduates are so well received in the industry. If you are a prospective pursuer of supply chain education, or if you are a mentor to someone who is a prospective pursuer of supply chain education, give us a thought, give our program a thought. You'll be glad you did. Stay tuned for our next success story, and from all of us, adios.